there is another way. There is another way of experiencing reality to how you are experiencing it right now. There is another new way of knowing, being, and doing in this world, especially when you're working towards breaking a habit, getting rid of a vice, something that's crushing your spirit, something that's keeping you trapped. And what I regard as vices of this world are things like alcohol, pornography, gambling, self-hatred, self-doubt, anxiety, depression. Those are some of the vices that have gripped me into a corner of feeling like I couldn't change, that I would never evolve or adjust my behavior. And the interesting thing about changing, about adapting and adopting new habits and ways of knowing, being, is doing, is you don't actually know what that looks like. The way you're experiencing reality right now is the only way you know. And you go through this process where you step into the void, into the unknown. You don't actually know how that new way of knowing, how you're going to even do it. And part of the process is fully accepting where you are right now. Not trying to run from it, not trying to hide from it, not trying to lie to yourself about it, but fully accepting where you are right now. Accepting that you manifested those habits, you practiced those skills, you constructed that version of yourself that you are right now. Okay, and then once you do that, it empowers you to know and understand that you can construct, create, and develop the next version of yourself. And often we go through this process and we partly step into these new ways of knowing, being, and doing, and it feels fake. We feel like a fraud because we aren't that person yet. We're still attached to parts of our old ways of knowing, being, and doing. Right? That shapes our reality, the way we think about the world, the habits that we do, the deep subconscious thoughts that we have. That is our ego, that is our character that we hold on to. And when we start to step away from that, those characteristics, that habit, that ego wants to hold us in the known. It wants to keep us in the known, the way that we know and understand and experience life by the way we project ourselves, the way we interact with situations, other people, and experiences. So it is a challenging path. It is a challenging path to confront yourself. The first step is awareness. Okay, becoming aware that you want to change, becoming aware that you are responsible, and then moving into acceptance. Fully accepting that you got yourself there, and also accepting that you are the one that can take yourself to the new place. Okay, you have the sovereignty, you have domain and dominion over your own mind. And then we move into expansion, expanding out of the comfort zone of who you are right now to become who you want to be, to embody and to embrace those new ways of knowing, being, and doing. There are alternatives to how you are experiencing reality right now. And it starts with a thought. What if? What if I can change? What if I do this differently? What if I learn this new skill? What if I address the issues that are controlling me and putting me into a fear state? So step one, awareness. Developing an understanding of the issue you're facing, whether that's drinking, pornography, gambling, smoking, vaping. Pick a vice. There's plenty to choose from. Overeating, sugar, hatred, resentment. Start to develop an awareness. Okay, what happens in your mind when you start to go into that thing? When you start to act out in a certain way? What are the precursors? And the way that you start to build that awareness is sit down in silence with yourself. Once a day, starting with a minute, maybe 2 minutes of sitting down and just observing your thoughts, okay? This is building the muscle of your internal awareness. It's a muscle, it's a skill, it's a habit, it's a practice, and it can be developed. Just like all skills, habits, and practices, they can be developed. They can be developed over time. That's the good news here. And once you start to develop that muscle, you can gain awareness of yourself as you feel yourself get triggered or drawn into that behavior, which is that which you do not desire. Okay, and then you can start to interrupt the pattern with a new choice. Could be as simple as saying no, or it could be not going into a specific environment that is the host, that is the domain of that habit, the arena of those practices which you are wanting to avoid and remove from your life. And once you start building that awareness, then you take responsibility for implementing those strategies we just touched on, right? Saying no. And then when you get those triggers and thoughts that come up, accepting the responsibility to dissolve them or disperse them or to redirect them into a new positive habit. Okay? And once you've done that, then you're going to go and expand. You're going to expand on those positive actions. You've built the awareness, you have the acceptance, and now you walk and you embrace expanding that new way of knowing, being, and doing, to really embrace that new character, that new version of yourself. Okay? And be very aware of who you're around and how they react to you when you are walking in this new way, when you are feeling into this new way of being. Do not let other people control how you express yourself in this world. It's happening all the time, all around us. That is going to be, when you start to expand, you're moving into other people's field of energy, feeling, views. Okay, and you've got to build that inner strength to stick with what you set your target on, of what you wanted to become, of that vice that you wanted to break away from. So be aware of your environment, be aware of your thoughts, accept the responsibility to take new actions, and keep expanding your knowledge, keep expanding your awareness, keep expanding your comfort zone. You are powerful.